And good morning. I'm your friend Scotty Ray. Believe it or not, 55 as we wait for a high of 79 later today. It'll be nice today. We'll tell you about what could happen tonight. Maybe a little showers or two and some wind. We got severe weather possibility rolling in on Sunday afternoon, late Sunday night. We'll take a look at that as well. That's our next round. Right now it's to the west of Meridian, Jackson and west today. Let's hope it stays way away. We'll give you details on that coming up here in just a few moments as we get ready for a great-looking Wednesday. It's the midweek hustle. We got a lot of guests coming in this morning. We'll have the Northeast Volunteer Fire Department come in. They're going to be asking for your help as they do their pancake breakfast. A lot of these guys do this to raise a little money. They'll be here to tell us about that. Also, we'll have Britt Gully, Kemper County, passing through today. He's got something going on. Also, I wanted to bring up, we have an accident this morning that has happened on Highway 397. This is going to be just north near Preston is where this is going to be. So let's go here and take a look on right here. If you're coming into Preston, a single car vehicle accident right before you make it to the intersection of Highway 21 in between 495 there at Nell Burnett Road and 21 there on Highway 397. Use caution. Mississippi Highway Patrol is responding. They'll be there in just a few moments. I don't think there's any injuries with that, but be careful as they get there. Never nice to have a little incident. Those do happen. We'll be right back as let's get this underway and get us some good words for today. Brother Ben's got a special message for us. We thank WMOX for joining us as well this morning. We'll be right back after this, great message.
People around us have all sorts of ambitions in life, things they want to pursue. And when we're young, many of these ambitions, they're big. We dream of being rock stars, professional athletes, TV personalities, or even president of the United States. We want to be successful, wealthy, well-known, happy. We dream of living life on full blast. But isn't it interesting that so many folks who achieve these things are miserable? The Holy Spirit points us to a different ambition through Apostle Paul in 1 Thessalonians 4:11. There he says, make it your ambition to lead a quiet life. And that's a life of peace, a life that's drama-free and uncomplicated. It's a simple life. Beloved, despite what you dreamed of as your younger self, there's absolutely nothing wrong with a simple life. The old Shaker spiritual saying, "'Tis a gift to be simple, 'tis a gift to be free, 'tis a gift to come around where you ought to be." Kenny Chesney saying, "It's the simple things in life, like the kids at home and a loving wife, that you miss the most when you lose control." And even Leonard Skinner, right? They sing that lyric from the heart of a mama to her son. Be a simple kind of man. Oh, be something you love and understand. You see, all of these reverberate the heart of God for you and for me. God calls us to be ambitious for the simple life, the peaceful life, the quiet life. So may you seek that kind of life and may you find it. May you be content in it and may you be blessed. Change begins in you.
The Change Begins in You is brought to you in part by Piggly Wiggly of Collinsville, Patrick Allen Companies, Mitchell Tire and Wrecker in Collinsville, and Mowdy Cabinetry. Welcome back. And I'm going to ask something that it just depends, I guess, upon where you live. I know as a kid, I grew up in downtown Scuba within the city, and every Sunday morning about 9 a.m., the church bells rang. You could hear it for a country mile. I sort of live out in the sticks now, and I don't quite live close enough to anywhere to hear the church bells. That's still going on. Do y'all hear them on Sunday morning? Maybe you do. Downtown Meridian does. And it may happen where you are. I just hadn't heard that. That Johnny Cash song just popped in my head Sunday morning coming down, and that sound of church bells. It'll lead you home, won't it? Good morning there. Good to see you. Philadelphia up and joining us. Miss Janice is there. Jeff Lewis is up stirring a little bit there, trying to find a coffee cup. Watch those plastic ones. They turn over easier. Those styrofoam ones, I just like a cup. As we go to...
What's the problem with the ceramic cup? Partner?
Well, hush. You'd have to point out I spilled coffee on that also. I'll tell you the reason behind that eventually of why I can't hold nothing no more. As I look at headlines this morning, we've got a judge named Judge Anna Reese. R-E-Y-E-S is her name. She has put a halt, or she is trying, rather. She's just issued an order to stop Trump from enforcing the transgender ban on the military. Thought you should know her name. She is attempting to do that. Didn't say it was going to stick. She put a temporary halt on that. Have you thought to 2028 Now, I don't think the Democrats have come up with who they want to put. And whether Republicans, they're thinking also as well. J.D. Vance, is he the man? There's a lot of people around that, but a lot of people go, whoa, hang on, a little early for all of that. We don't know. I even saw in a interview not long ago, he was asked point blank, Trump was, will you support Vance? And he clearly wouldn't answer. He also felt it was too early. Who will come? I even heard, what is it, Florida? As people start backing this one and that one for the next governor of it, I see where, what's DeSantis, his wife? She may run. Huh. I don't know her first name. I've just seen her. Pretty lady, but I don't know any more than that about her. Oh, boy. They've been busy at the U.S. government. Those boys that, they strap on those bulletproof vests and they go out. And they seem to have caught an alleged MS-13 leader. He is in the top 10 list of most wanted there in the FBI. He's going to be extradited back to the U.S. out of Mexico. Bad little dude there. He'll stand trial. Now, I think each of us, if you're watching me, as a kid, your parents taught you to respect a teacher. That was you said yes, ma'am, you said no, ma'am. And I see every day. Maybe it was the first time I even saw disrespect was, what was it? Was it Belushi that done the principal?
Oh, yeah.
Y'all remember that, to where they were just kind of wild in the school? We go to Florida for this story, and it happens in every state, I'm sure. 2 students were arrested for allegedly attacking a teacher at a Florida high school. And it happens all around.
Morgan Freeman, Stand By Me.
Morgan Freeman was in one of those also.
Man, that was a good one.
Morgan Freeman, just an all-around good guy. But I do, even local, know teachers that go, boy, I'm kind of scared to be in my own classroom these days. It all starts at home. That's where it begins. We can blame anybody else we want and say it's the system, you done this. No, let's back up. It begins at home, from right and wrong, from mom and daddy or grandmother, whoever it is that is in charge of taking care of that child. It's that compass you get in life. We got another judge saying you can't do that. We'll see what becomes of this one also. It says that Trump just can't dismantle the USAID, however you want to word that little organization. We'll see what becomes of that also as they fight back. And this is true. If you don't agree with someone, doesn't mean that you can attack them, you can hurt them. There's nothing wrong with going, I don't like you and I don't agree with your politics. At the end of the day, you leave it there. But this has been a growing thing, especially at dealerships, and I've even seen it on a few individuals that own them. I'm not going to drive a Tesla, probably never will. Or Tesla, how do you say the word, y'all? Tesla. That's a tough one. He needs to change the pronunciation of that. But there's arson attacks on these cars. Pam Bondi is calling this short of domestic terrorism. They're setting them on fire at dealerships of the, whatever that word is. I'm not going to say again to get it wrong. I'm going to leave that one and let it be this morning. It's a mind thing. I just can't wrap my mind around saying it correctly. Yeah. Boy. Let's see what else is happening here. 1979. I was 10 years old. It happened, an unsolved murder. A man has been arrested in Maryland, 1979. A woman was attacked, raped, and killed in a parking lot, left. They had no idea. There was some DNA left at the scene, but that's all they had. They didn't know what it was. He is 82 years old now and has been taken into custody for that murder. You know how? Well, if you've got kinfolks and they give away their DNA, it can be traced back to you. They put that DNA and they run it through all these sites that people give it. Ding, ding, they made a connection. He has been arrested. It happened on March 3rd of 1979. She was a 31-year-old secretary. Isn't that boy? Maryland is where it happened there. They had no clues until now. He lived scot-free for all those years. This is a new twist. I got a studio audience, by the way. Y'all can't see them. I'm looking at them. There's always somebody that's a little bit more clever than the next criminal. Well, their best friend gets put in jail. Well, they need a little help with drugs to get by to make it on their own in there. And they think of these creative ways, from sneaking it in laundry, maybe using a drone to drop it over the fence. But this may be the first time I've heard of this one. Documents mailed to the prison soaked in drugs. You ever heard of that one?
No.
Yeah. You could see it.
Yeah.
Now, this is how I don't know much about drugs, because I don't. I know very little. How do you extract the drugs from paper? You sniff the paper?
Liquefy it. It's liquid.
Okay.
It can be.
The closest I've ever gotten to that is leaving like a little Debbie cake on a piece of paper. You know, it gets that oily look, and you get it all over your hand. You can't get it off. I wouldn't make it as a drug dealer. I'm just telling you, it wouldn't work out for me. What else do we have here? The Super Bowl reporter. Do y'all remember what I'm talking about? The guy that goes down, he's in his early 30s to cover the Super Bowl, and he gets killed in his hotel room by a woman that has frequently, I'm trying to think of the word, conned men. Yeah, that's it. I think she was trying to sell him several things, and, well, she is being officially charged. At first, she was charged with criminal, what do you call it? Well, she took his wallet. They found her with his wallet and credit card, and so items stolen. Now they've upgraded this. I'm not sure they have a strong case just yet, but it's in the works there. Now, what was he doing with her in his motel room? I don't have the answer for that. I don't. Somebody's in deep trouble as we go back again to Florida. And this has happened in Meridian. I know twice in Meridian the same child this happened to, wandering the streets of Meridian at 2 a.m. I remember this well, up by Meridian High School, a little year and a half old, if I remember right. It's been found twice. And it hadn't happened lately, but a little over a year and a half, 2 years ago, it did happen. We see in Florida the same thing happened. A 2-year-old toddler wandering the streets. The police found it, went to where it was. There's Daddy, passed out in the bed, drunk. All types of drug paraphernalia all in the room. They've taken the child from the family. I don't think that happened here. Children need guidance. They need parents, and we all know that. Oklahoma, as we update you of what's going on in Oklahoma, as we know that fires, well, these brush fires, they get out of hand. We've got 4 people that are dead and over 200 injured in these fires that have broke out across Oklahoma. Firefighters do the very best they can, but these winds, they're awful when it gets hold of that. Which reminds me, we'll be talking about this in a moment. We've got a wind advisory today. Do not burn. Stay away from it. These guys need to stay at work. We had a rough one yesterday. We'll tell you about that also coming up after 7 o'clock. Louisiana. Now, this is just how the media portrays things. We have one headline that says Louisiana executes man after a 15-year pause, which they did. The next headline says, antagonizing amount of time it took to kill convicted killer. It was this new nitrogen gas that Louisiana used there at Angola. Took 19 minutes. And he didn't suffer. It was a ease thing. If we remember, we talked about this guy. I think it was last week, 1996. He murdered and abducted a woman in a garage in New Orleans. She didn't get any kind of help, did she? And I don't think hers was painless either. That's just keeping you up to date with what goes on. But it just shows you how media can twist a story to try to make you feel for people that may not be in the right. Just my 2 cents on that. Well, there's a few families that are distraught, and I'm going to answer this with, who cares? As we get rid of bad guys. You see all those that are being deported for crimes, their families are upset at Donald Trump. Well, you shouldn't be criminals in the U.S. of A. Best I can tell you. We've already talked about that one. That was a different headline on that. Let's see. Boy. Teens driving down the road. And let me see what state this was in. This was in New Mexico. We don't hear a lot out of New Mexico, but 2 teens have been charged in this. They were driving down the road, and a man was riding his bicycle, and they ran over him on purpose. They were in stolen cars. They're going to be charged with murder now. It took a year to solve the crime, but they are going to have to pay now, and they should. Now, you should never do this because as an adult, it's shameful to do this to children. And I know that kids sometimes get all wound up and they don't want to take their nap. But we have a daycare in Georgia that's in all kinds of trouble. What were they doing? When it was nap time, kids wouldn't go to sleep. They would give them Benadryl. They have been busted, they have been caught, and the daycare shut down. If I am not mistaken, it was actually at a church. It's not the church's fault. It was the daycare workers that were doing that, but they have been caught, and parents are beyond mad.
And now if they need Benadryl, it might not work because they built a
Resistance immune system to it. I know puppy dogs sometimes are given that during these thunderstorms. I've heard people doing that. But you don't do that to children at all. We've got 2 men that have been found guilty. Smuggling is what they were doing for a living. I don't know if y'all remember this. I remember when it happened as they come across the border in an 18-wheeler. They had 53 people in the back that had paid big money to be smuggled into the U.S. of A. It was 2022 is when it happened, so it's 3 years ago. 53 men died in the back of that truck. Smugglers took their money and, well, they were killed. That's how bad people want in our country. Southwest, did y'all see this where they're going to start charging you for your carry-on bag? Have y'all seen that? Frontier Airlines says, we ain't going to charge you.
Come on over.
Come over and fly with us. It's a bag. Sometimes tickets seem cheap until you check in and they charge you this, that, and the other. Almost charge you to put your feet down on the floor as an extra charge. It's kind of ridiculous with these hidden fees. It's like checking into a motel room. You don't know what you're going to be hit with when you're traveling. The room may be $50, but the time they're through with you, it's $189 with taxes. And it goes to some kind of something they're building in that city. Y'all know I'm right. You've traveled. You've checked into places. You go into cities to buy a Wendy's burger. It's only $3.99 for the burger. By the time they get rid of you, it's $18.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. We're going to have to talk about what's going on in the state of Mississippi in a little bit also. This tax is clearing the Senate over there to where they're going to start. I mean, come on. If you can't fix it, leave it alone, Mississippi. As we look at this tax cut that really isn't a tax cut, where they're going to start getting rid of the grocery tax and backing it down a few cents each year. The problem is they take what they're taking away from that and they put it on your gas. That, in the same effect, affects everyone. As a matter of fact, it may even hurt us more as we have things delivered through trucks that have to pay this extra tax, so it makes the groceries back high again. Now that bothers me. Anybody else hearing me? Does anyone agree?
100%.
That rattles me. Now, no one, I don't think, liked what was going on, but it is somehow clearing the Senate. It's not law. We'll find out more about this. And it's almost, do you think that I'm not that smart? I mean, do they really think that Mississippians aren't that smart? That if you take 2 cents off of this and then you slide it over here that no one will notice? Folks, that's going to really hurt you. Any tax on gas affects everything you do. Say no, Mississippi. Leave it as is if you can't do any better. If you can't come up with a better plan than that, leave it alone. I'm going to get hot under the collar before this is all done. That just really bothers me. We did do something good yesterday. Astronauts have returned home after being stranded for 9 months in space. Can you imagine that? They call you up, you're going to be there for a week, and they go, well, it's going to be a little longer. And we're stopping to get a Wendy's burger. We'll be there in a little bit. Took them 9 months to get that burger. They are thanking Trump and also Elon. It was still going to be another month, is what officials thought. They were pushed and pushed and pushed to speed this up to get these guys and ladies home. They are home. That is wonderful.
Well, wait a minute. America couldn't do it. So who had to?
That'd be old Elon. Elon jumped in to help out with that. I have no desire to rent a ride in a spaceship to go somewhere else. I don't think I belong there. I don't think I want to pay for a submarine to go down and see the Titanic either. Nope, I'm fine up here. Y'all can send me pictures from a robot and I'll be just fine. Alrighty, 6:50, we're going to pause and we'll be right back as we'll get into what's going on with the forecast. That's coming up next here at the Scotty Ray Report.
For something as vital as your eyes, you should have your lenses and contacts made with the utmost care and precision. And that's what Grayson Optical does on 24th Avenue. Since 1996, Grayson Optical's mission has been to provide Meridian and surrounding areas with quality eye care products. That's why we're locally owned and operated. And don't forget, custom-made sunglasses like Costa for your eyes only. When you need to see clearly, Grayson Optical. 2021 24th Avenue, Meridian. 601-693-6374.
We welcome you to a new vehicle buying experience here at Doc's Toyota. Buying a new vehicle doesn't have to be stressful, but don't just take our word for it.
This was the best experience I've ever had buying a vehicle.
Doc's employees are top-notch.
I drove 2 hours, not once, but twice, to purchase 2 vehicles with a 5-month time frame.
Doc's delivers competitive pricing, a comprehensive selection, and flexible financing options, helping you get on the road from Carthage, Meridian, and beyond. There's a reason why there's no deal like a Doc's deal.
Welcome back. As we get into our forecast this morning, let's check out and see what's happening.
Your forecast is brought to you by EMEPA, your Touchstone Energy Cooperative.
Our record highs and record lows. Y'all remember back in 82, it was a warm day. 87, we're expecting it to be somewhere around 79 today. Back in 1892, wasn't none of us here. It was 17 degrees, but it was cold as it's passed down through generations. As we look at what's happening, we don't have anything for today. Mississippi hadn't updated that yet. We do see we have clouds across Alabama. Should be 81 in Demopolis, 79 there in Birmingham. We'll even see 81 at Auburn. Nice place there. This is what we were talking about, the winds today. Do not burn. You can start a small, brush fire to burn some leaves or whatever it is. The next thing you know, it gets out of hand. Don't touch it today. We're at a level 1 in the Meridian area. And if you get to Jackson and all points north of the Mississippi Delta, we're in a level 2 there. We have sustained winds of 20 to 25 today, and they could gust from 35 to 40. That's strong. Don't touch it. We do have a chance of that frost coming in Friday morning. I want to remind you of that, and that our next chance of severe weather rolls in Sunday. Now, this is a level 1, and it's going to be around Scott County. Back, we'll have that level 1 to Jackson, and then back to the Delta and into Louisiana, it's a level 2. We're days away from this. This could be upgraded. We'll watch this. It's going to be late Sunday evening into Sunday night. Now, again, at this point, East Mississippi is not affected by it. But again, we're days away from it, so it makes me wonder it could shift more. Hot out to the west. We're kind of normal here in Mississippi as we look at our 7-day forecast. That 78, 79 temperature, depending upon where you're standing, as we'll see. Drastically different temperature tomorrow. Look at this, 59. You might have to drag out a jacket to handle it tomorrow. Low of 35 as we get ready for frost tomorrow night, coming in early Friday morning. 68 with frost cover up those plants. Low down to 46 Friday night. Over the weekend, we're back to that good weather feeling anyway. 76, 79 on Sunday, 72 by Monday. And as we come across, we'll see that we get into some 83, 84 degrees as we get ready for April to roll in. April Fool's Day, it should be 73 with a 40% chance of showers. That's really not that far off. April, can y'all believe that? Feels like we just started the year. My, oh my. Fishing, what's going on today? It looks like our best time will be this afternoon. It should start around 4 o'clock until 6 o'clock. Now, again, your winds, I'll look at this, south, southwest, anywhere from 15 to 25 with gusts of up to 40 miles an hour is what we're expecting there. Sunrise is going to hit in about 3 minutes from now. 6:59 is when we will have it. We will have sunset this afternoon at 7:06 p.m. It's going to be nice. I hope you'll enjoy it. We've got a big show lined up as we get ready for this. Cowboy hats are in. Fire departments are here. Lots of stories and lots of coffee happening here at the studio. Won't you join us? We're going to come back live here in just a few moments as we begin a new adventure. Each day is different, isn't it? It's always good to have you a part of what we do. Please come back. We'll start the show in just a second here and get it all live and bring you what's happened here locally. We got those special guests. You're going to enjoy it. Pancakes and a whole lot more. All on the way here at the Scotty Ray Report.
The Scotty Ray Report is brought to you by our following partners.